Greetings, salutations, respect and love. I am Scott from the Fire Note, and today in the Prog Corner, we're going to do something really special, really important. How to get your wife into prog. And a little background on why we're doing this. Why am I doing this episode? Well, I took a look at my analytics, and I've had this channel up for like 3 weeks now. And taking a look at who's watching the videos, and shocking, 95% of it's men. Only 5% are women. I know women are a minority in the prog community. Certainly on YouTube. Shout out to Neve the Prog Nerd over in the UK. She's one of the exceptions. Great channel. Check her out if you haven't already. But 95%. And then I was looking at the age portion of this demographic, and 100% are over 45. Yeah, obviously, I think I know who my target market is here. My target audience is certainly dudes just like me. So how to get your wife into prog. It's the most critical question that needs to be asked for a man who is a prog fan. You want to stay with your wife. You want to have a happy marriage. And there's only so much Dua Lipa and The Weeknd that you can take, right? I mean, the quality of your life, the quality of your marriage depends on this particular issue. At least it did for me. When I married my wife, she had no idea what prog was. She hadn't even heard the term before, but she did know a few bands, and there were some areas that our musical interests intersected. So I knew it wasn't a lost cause, but I knew this was super important to my quality of life, to my well-being. So I'm sure there's a few guys out there in a similar situation. So let's talk about the 10 things, the 10 steps that you need to take to get your wife into prog. Number 1 is be intentional. Have a plan. Have a purpose. You can't just go into any endeavor willy-nilly and not have a game plan ready to go, mapped out so that you know what you're doing. This is important, so take a little bit of time and have a game plan. Number 2, be patient. Don't expect a miracle, all right? As you know, prog music can be complicated. It can be hard to get into, harder than some of the mainstream stuff, obviously. But take a step back and think about your favorite record. I had to. My favorite record of all time is Tales from Topographic Oceans, and it took me 2 years to like that album. I hated it when it first came out. So try to remember some of those types of emotions when you're dealing with your spouse. Very important. Be patient. Number 3, look for common ground. This was the most critical step for me because my wife and I started talking on MySpace way back in the day, and the point of intersection was Guided by Voices. Not a prog band, but they have some progressive influences, so I knew there was something there. From there, we found out that Guided by Voices leader Bob Pollard was really into Jethro Tull, so I figured that might be a good starting point. I found out, later on, Jethro Tull was coming into town, so, we were able to reinforce that a little bit, but find areas of commonality. And there are some areas where you can weasel your way in, whether it be your wife is into metal. There are a few of them. There are some entry points there. You've got Iron Maiden, you've got Dream Theater, you've got Queensryche, you've got Fate's Warning. There's a lot of bands you can slip in to a playlist and get her used to some of those different sounds. If she likes new wave, XTC, Tears for Fears, Ultravox, Talking Heads, they're very progressive bands. You can kind of go from Talking Heads into Adrian Belew era King Crimson. You can go from XTC or Tears for Fears. You can talk about Steven Wilson and his remixes, and maybe weasel your way into some Porcupine Tree or Wilson solo stuff. So find those areas of interest, and maybe you can get into a place where you can agree on some stuff. the Guided by Voices example, an indie band, there's plenty of indie bands out there that have a lot of progressive influences, where Flaming Lips, Mercury Rev, These New Puritans, Most Serene Republic. So find those areas where there's some intersection and go for it. All right. Number 4, reinforce any of the successes that you're having. The Jethro Tull example. We started with Aqualung and we just kind of branched from there. I found that she was liking what she was hearing, so I slowly started putting more Jethro Tull into the playlists and getting her more and more used to it. And so if you're finding an area of success, reinforce that, and that'll help you to expand her knowledge on one artist, and from there you can move on. Number 5, avoid problem artists. You probably don't want to start with Magma or Universe Zero or Henry Cow, but that's obvious. But what I'm talking about is more mainstream prog bands that she's just not liking. If you introduce your wife to, say, a Genesis song with Gabriel singing and she just doesn't dig the vocals, try some Phil Collins. There are going to be some problem artists for everyone, and we all like what we like. But if there's a sticking point, an artist that she's just not into, in my case, it was Genesis. I don't play Genesis in the car. My wife just doesn't like them, so I avoid it. Why have fights? Number 6, incorporating known artists. This is important because there are a lot of mainstream bands, known artists that have very progressive songs. 2 examples that come to mind right away: Bohemian Rhapsody, Stairway to Heaven. If those are not the 2 most known prog songs, I don't know what is. Those are definitely prog from non-prog bands, but that could be a real nice entry point for you to get her used to expansive songwriting. The mini epics of those 2 songs could open the way to some Supper's Ready or Close to the Edge later on down the road. Similarly, number 7, utilizing crossover bands as a bridge, as a gateway. Styx, Supertramp, Kansas, Asia, Alan Parsons Project, David Bowie, Blue Oyster Cult. These are all bands that had radio hits. These are all artists that have definitely a progressive underbelly. This could, again, kind of ease your way into some of the more challenging bands that you want your spouse to be listening to with you. All right, number 8, slowly add more challenging music into the playlists. Again, this is tied into point number 2 about being patient, but you got to be intentional and you got to slowly start adding the more complicated, the more complex stuff. Don't expect her to get into Magma overnight. It's just not going to happen. Number 9, mentioned this about Jethro Tull and my wife. Luckily, right as she was starting to get into it, Jethro Tull came to Dayton. I took her to the show and she had a great time. And it, again, just reinforced her love for that band. And you know how it is when you go to a show. You can kind of, it takes your love and appreciation for that band to a different level. You're seeing them live. You have that personal connection. You have that memory. You buy the t-shirt and, you wear it around and you'll be thinking about that show for years. Take your wife to a prog show. That may help. And number 10, most important step in the 10 steps to get your wife into prog is to have fun, right? It's music. It shouldn't be work. I know sometimes prog workouts can feel quite laborious, but it shouldn't be work. It should be fun. If you find your wife going onto her phone or looking out the window, reading billboards, probably what you're playing is not keeping her interest. So just have a good time with it. And I can promise you that these 10 steps will help you in your quest to get your wife into prog. It's not easy, but your marriage depends on it. And happy wife, happy life. So you might as well get your wife in the right spot and get her listening to prog music. Because like I said, I like Justin Bieber, but I'm not going to be listening to a whole lot of that. Anyway, I am Scott from the Fire Note, hanging here in the Prog Corner, and I hope to see you soon. Please subscribe to my channel, and have a great day. I'm out.